The air motor must be removed from the pump frame before rebuilding. Place the air motor on a bench vise and secure firmly in place. Use a 1 7/8 inch socket to remove the cap nut on the air motor cylinder globe. Use vice grips to hold the trip rod while removing the cap nut. Place a retaining device on the end of the trip rod. Remove the front and rear air motor cylinder bolts from the air motor's base. Lift up the air motor cylinder globe to remove from the base. Pull up on the trip rod to set the actuator valves and yoke to the up position. Using needle nose pliers, remove the lock wires from the left and right transfer valve stems. Use a small flat blade screwdriver to remove the transfer valve's top adjusting nut. Remove the trip rod, actuator, and yoke from the air motor base. Be careful not to lose the toggle pins in the yoke. Retrieve the toggle rockers, toggle arms, and springs from the air motor base. Unscrew the bottom adjusting nuts and remove both transfer valves from the air motor piston. Remove the air motor piston O-ring. Using two hands, lift the air motor piston from the base. Remove the air motor base O-ring. Place all removed components together and inspect for damage or excessive wear. Use a clean shop towel to remove any dirt, grease, or water from the air motor base and piston. Place the actuator valve in a vise and remove the grommets and poppet valves with a utility knife. Place the new poppets from the repair kit into the actuator valve and pull into place with vice grips. Use wire cutters to cut the tail off the poppet. Insert the new grommets into the actuator valve, then remove the actuator valve from the vise. Return the air motor base to the bench vise and insert a new base O-ring. Lubricate the O-ring with waterproof grease. Lower the air motor piston into the base. Install the new transfer valves into the air motor piston and screw the lower adjusting nut into place. stop at the end of the threads. Place the trip rod into the air motor base. Insert the actuator valve through the yoke and guide the trip rod through the assembly. Install the trip rod retaining device. Press down on the actuator to seat the valve assembly. Insert the toggle pins into the yoke using needle nose pliers. Install the top adjusting nuts on the transfer valve stems. Hold the lower adjusting nut with your free hand when installing. Align the slot in the transfer valve stem with the holes in the adjusting nuts. Apply waterproof grease to the toggle arm and insert the spring. Reapply grease to the end of the spring and insert the toggle rocker. Align the toggle arms with the toggle pins on the yoke. Use an open-ended wrench to compress the toggle spring. Slowly guide the toggle rocker into the air piston base. Raise the air motor piston a few inches and insert a feeler gauge between the transfer valve poppet and the air motor piston. Proper gap is 125 thousandths of an inch. Rotate the transfer valve stem with a screwdriver to adjust the gap. The feeler gauge should have a snug fit against the transfer poppet valve. Pull the trip rod up to set the actuator and toggle assemblies to the up position. Insert the lock wires through the holes in the adjusting nuts and the slot on the transfer valve stem. Bend the ends of the lock wires up with needle nose pliers to secure in place. Install a new O-ring from the repair kit on the air motor piston. Lubricate the O-ring with waterproof grease. Apply waterproof grease to the toggle assemblies on the air motor piston. Lubricate the air motor cylinder globe with waterproof oil or grease. Guide the globe onto the piston using medium downward pressure to seat the globe on the air motor base. Reinstall the front and rear air motor cylinder bolts. Place the vice grips on the trip rod and remove the retaining device. Reinstall the cap nut on the trip rod and tighten. Screw the cap nut into the air motor globe. Before remounting the air motor to the pump stand, connect to an air hose and run the air motor slowly to ensure that it operates smoothly.